And that was the moment I realized the child growing inside her wasn't mine, and that the woman I married wasn't mine anymore either.
The day my marriage died started at 6 in the morning in the tiny bathroom of our suburban house. My wife, Jessica, was holding a pregnancy test like she'd just won the lottery. "Tom," she whispered, her voice trembling with a joy I hadn't heard in months. "2 lines. We're finally pregnant. 2 lines." A baby, the thing we'd tried for, fought for so long. There was just one huge problem. We hadn't been intimate in 5 weeks, not since my emergency appendix surgery. The doctor's orders were crystal clear. No strenuous physical activity. My coffee mug started shaking in my hand. "Jessica!" When exactly did this happen? Her smile froze, just for a second. A flicker of something cold and calculating passed through her eyes. "Maybe," she whispered, "maybe it happened before your surgery. We both knew that was impossible." And for the first time in our 8 years of marriage, I looked at my wife and didn't recognize her at all. But let me take you back to where this nightmare really began. It started 6 months earlier with a man who opened a door she was all too eager to walk through. Jessica came home one evening glowing, her cheeks flushed and her voice bubbling with excitement. "Tom, you're going to love my new boss," she said. "Bradley is different." Different was an understatement. Jessica had always kept a firm line between work and home. She used to say I wouldn't understand corporate people, but suddenly she was desperate for me to meet him. "He really sees potential in me," she said, twirling her hair like a schoolgirl. That should have been the first red flag. The second one came with a dinner invitation. "Why are we cooking for your boss?" I asked. She gave me this strange, unfamiliar smile. Bradley inspires people to exceed expectations. When she said the word exceed, something twisted in my stomach. Bradley arrived dressed like he owned the world-perfect suit, expensive scotch, a handshake that was all about power. He looked around our home like an investor sizing up a property. His compliments were smooth, empty, and strategic. "High school chemistry teacher, right? Noble work. Foundation work, foundation work." As if I was just a bricklayer, not someone shaping the minds of future scientists. He never stopped watching Jessica. Every move she made, every time she leaned forward, every brush of her hand and Jessica, she absolutely basked in it. She cooked salmon like she was auditioning for a TV show. She laughed at his jokes and leaned in closer than she ever did with me. But the moment that really stuck with me was when Bradley said, "Jessica has a natural talent for understanding what successful men want, not what clients want, what men want." Jessica blushed like it was the greatest compliment she'd ever received. That night, she initiated intimacy for the first time in weeks, but it was different, more aggressive, like she was performing a script someone else had written. I should have known right then. For their second dinner, Jessica transformed. New red dress, new perfume, professional makeup. She spent hours getting ready. "All this for your boss?" I asked. "Bradley appreciates attention to detail," she whispered. During the meal, Bradley talked about extraordinary people and the sacrifices required for greatness. Jessica drank in every single word. Then he drained his wine, turned to her and said, "You, Jessica, could go very far if you're willing to do whatever it takes." Her eyes lit up like he'd just handed her a brand new destiny. After he left, she looked at herself in the mirror, but it was like she was seeing a completely new woman. "He's right," she whispered to her reflection. I deserve the best. I felt something inside me crack. The third dinner was the final nail in the coffin. This time, Bradley brought someone with him, Richard, older, oozing wealth, with a predatory look in his eyes. He owned a string of luxury entertainment venues. The moment his eyes landed on Jessica, my skin crawled. Richard spoke openly, disturbingly, about personal attention, client satisfaction, and flexible, adaptable women. And Jessica listened like a student learning sacred knowledge. "The right woman," Richard said, staring right at her, "can earn more in a month than most people make in a year." I saw the exact moment greed completely replaced love in her eyes. After they left, I confronted her. "What kind of job is he really offering you?" Her smile was ice cold. "The kind that changes lives, Jessica. These men don't want an employee." "I know," she said softly. "They want me, and they're willing to pay." "Jessica." That's prostitution, she laughed, a cruel, dismissive sound. No, Tom, it's economics. Supply and demand. 2 weeks later, I found her packing lingerie into an overnight bag. Where are you going? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Bradley has a penthouse gathering, important clients. As what? She gave me a smile that completely gutted me. As his companion, my voice broke. If you leave this house tonight, we're done. She actually paused. For one heartbreakingly hopeful moment, I thought she might stay. Then she turned, her eyes cold and hard. We were done the moment I realized what I could have instead of this. The door closed. Behind her at 9:23 p.m., she didn't come back until Monday morning, wearing a new diamond bracelet and carrying shopping bags from stores I couldn't even afford to walk into. And just 2 weeks after that, she showed me the pregnancy test. Bradley's baby, not mine. It was never mine. The next morning I asked her, "Whose baby is it?" She didn't even look up from applying her mascara. Does it matter? It matters to me. She capped the tube and turned. It's Bradley's. He's setting me up in a penthouse. The child support alone will be more than your yearly salary. She started packing again, throwing clothes and jewelry I'd never seen before into a suitcase. You're just leaving our marriage? She laughed. I found the life I deserve, Tom. You should find someone who fits your life. She left divorce papers on the table with a note. Don't fight this. Bradley has resources you can't imagine. Start over. She signed it JJ, not Jessica. The woman I married was gone long before she ever walked out that door. She didn't lose herself. She just found exactly who she always was.